what's happening with ETFs at the moment, for example.
Yeah,
right?
more and more money are coming in.
And by the way, everybody's complaining because they can't get an entry point as it's going up. Yeah. But now that it's actually coming down, right, now they have the entry point.
And then they sell in panic instead.
I know.
So what are you doing now?
Huh?
What are you doing with are you buying more now?
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. I jumped the gun a little bit because it hadn't closed on the weekly.
And the weekly did close bearish actually on Bitcoin and all the others. A pullback was probably in the cards.
Absolutely.
But still, I think we're going to win either way. It's going to keep going up.
Of course. Actually, I was buying Bitcoin not to hold Bitcoin, but to buy other coins. Because I lost some Solana on FTX, right? Yeah. So I don't know why. I just want to make that back. Yeah. Not revenge trading. Well, yeah. That's Sam Bankman-Fried or whatever his name. Bankman-Fried? Bankman-Fried? Oh, Bankman-Fried. Maybe.
Bankman-Fried, yeah.
Bankman-Fried, probably, I don't know. But that dude, honestly. Anyway, so let me ask you, what got you interested in trading and investing?
It was actually my mom initially.
Your mother, really?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I mean, she dabbled a little bit. She had in her bank, she had a couple of stocks that she were buying, some Swedish ones. So I did that as well, and then I did the natural thing. I put a little bit in, and then it went quite well. We're in a bull market then, unfortunately. And
unfortunately, you made money though.
Yeah,
right?
Because I thought I was able to do it right without the strategy because everything goes up then. So then I got an interest in it. I thought, okay, because I was naturally quite interested in business when I was very young. I had business, like a small business, to cutting grass and stuff for elderly people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and everything from, I baked cookies and I sold them in the neighborhood and said it was for a school trip, so I would buy more. It wasn't really, so my mom told me off. So I've always had that, right? The business kind of edge.
Yeah, I think it sounds like you're entrepreneurial, not a businessman. Entrepreneurial.
Yeah, that's probably what. So, but then I went to forum, YouTube, and everyone talked about these smaller ones that could go up 1,000,000%. And I was dragged to as well. So that's how it started.
Like penny shares, right?
Penny shares.
That's how I started.
Yeah,
lost so much money. But anyway.
Well, initially I put in this is the worst. I put in a little bit of money, and that went up like 40-50%. I'm like, yes, now I'm going to put everything in. And that's when it went south. So that's how I started. My mom got me in, and it's her fault that
she didn't teach you any strategies?
No strategies.
Okay.
She just said, buy these maybe, and then she let me loose. And when I turned 18, both me and my brother, we got a little bit of money. I think 15 to 20,000 roughly.
Okay.
And
how'd you get that?
No, she saved from when we were, for in our upbringing, and then I've saved as well. That was part of that. So every month in Sweden, you get, if you have a child, you get like 150 pounds a month.
From the government?
From the government.
A month?
Yeah, for every child.
Okay.
So I always save that. I've never used it in my entire. They said, "Do you want to save it? Do you want to spend it?" I'm a saver, so I said, "I want to save it." And they kind of, "You want to save it or do you want to spend it?" So, so that was part of it. But yeah, so both myself, my brother, a little bit of my mom, we put money in, and I said, I can do this, and I lost 70% of it.
70%, 7-0.
7-0, yeah.
Of your own money and your mum's money.
Correct.
How did that make you feel?
Honestly, that was the toughest period in my life.
Especially since you were so excited about it, and then it comes crashing down.
Yeah, and they didn't know, right? I was the only one that could see it.
Did you sell?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
Yeah, because what happened was I mean, if I just would have stayed in some of the ones I had, it would have gone really well. But I was both unlucky, but then lucky as well. So what happened was this, right? It went down, and I sold. I panicked, right? And then I bought something else that they hyped up that should go higher on the forums I was looking. And then that went up a little bit, but then it went down 40-50% as well. And that was it, right? I put like the rest of the money in that. Mm-hmm. And then all of it was gone. I had, I think, of 50,000-60,000, it was, I think, 8,000 left, or a little bit less than that.
Yeah.
So then I went back, I put those money, and this was pure luck, of course. I put those in one company that a mentor I had then, actually, it was before you, right? One that I actually paid to follow a newsletter with. And he said, he's been in this for a long time. So that was probably the first research that I've actually did. I put the 8 grand in that. I just waited while I had a really tough time sleeping. I hadn't told anyone yet, but I did tell my brother.
Did your mother know?
No, not at the point. But I did call both my mother and my brother, and then I just cried my eyes out. It was just so much pain, and that was at the same time.
How did they react when you told them?
They were actually very, very nice, right? And I expect people to become upset in a way, but no, my mom was, we're gonna find a solution. That's not a problem. Let's learn from it. Let's move on. I'm sure she was not happy, but she handled it very well. My brother exactly the same. It's gonna be fine, right? It's gonna be completely fine. So that felt really good.
So that was your first experience with trading and investing. I mean, for most people, I reckon that would be it.
That would be it.
I mean, more than it, right? It would be like, and they'd probably be going around telling everybody else that doesn't work. It doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
That car doesn't drive, you know. So what's the situation now financially?
So first and foremost, I said, great. I'm probably gonna be 40 or 50 before I could pay them back, right? Because of course I was gonna pay them back what I lost, right, in work. And so I just saw, now in hindsight, I really overestimated what I could do in the longer term. I underestimated, what I can do in a couple of years now. So I had two decisions to make, right? I was still with trouble sleeping. You know that. I never have trouble sleeping. As soon I wake up, when I lay down, I wake up because I hit the pillow because I fall asleep so fast. And so I'm never. But I woke up in the middle of the night. I was sweating. It was literally awful. But I had.
Sorry. So you wake up because you're falling asleep and then you hit the pillow and then you wake up.
No, but if you ask my brothers the same, I fall asleep in the middle of conversations in the evening. Like we were talking like, hello, and I was asleep. Yeah, that happened all the time. So I'm a really good sleeper.
Okay.
But I had two decisions to make, right? Either I could give up or I could try, to make this work. Mm-hmm. And at the same time as you came up on Facebook, approximately, that share that I had 8 grand in, it actually went up, was it 400% or so. So I kind of made like 70% of those money back, fortunately. At that point, I had a decision to make. So either I could give up, which was definitely on the cards. I definitely thought that this was not for me, obviously. But I also thought that I saw that people were making it. So I thought that there has to be a way. And funnily enough, that's when you came up on internet. I saw an ad for you and you had a free one-day event in Malmö, where I come from. Mm-hmm. And I decided to go there. And I think that's where it turned a little bit, because partly I was a bit lucky because that share I put the rest of the money in actually went up for 400% or so on really good news. And then I actually did sell. And then I said, right, let's now learn this properly, or try at least. And then I went to your course and the rest is history.
Okay, brilliant. So tell us now about like your successes. Like, where are you now? How much money are you investing and trading with?
Yeah, so I literally, with my own money, I gave money back to my family, but I started with 4 grand after the whole.
4,000?
Yeah, 4,000. After everything was said and done, I started with 4,000. And now, a couple of years later, I'm in a very fortunate position where I have, in my own money, in pure cryptos and stocks alone, from starting with 4,000, over 650,000.
So hold on, so 4,000 to 650,000. And but you also, families. You have other accounts that you trade, families, for example.
Exactly. This is after paying my family back, of course, and also, yes, I have roughly 1.5 million that I'm managing in just family and myself.
And as far as I'm concerned, you're just starting out, because it's really going to grow and grow, and that's when you're always compounding, but you don't really see it with smaller amounts. But you know what I mean. But then with the large amounts, you really see it. It's like, where does this extra 100,000 come from? It's just like magic.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. And I think the first year when I traded it, you're learning, right? So the 4,000 turned into what? 4,800. It was like nothing. So the first year I definitely overestimated what I could have done. But now, a couple of years down the line, it just I don't know where the money is coming from. I literally have no clue. And now I comfortably make 30% a year on my investing, literally spending very little time.
How much did you make last year?
Depends what we're talking about here. But on the investing side of things, the average, if I put the accounts together, I made 48%, 48.7% So
I heard that you made 170%. How did you do that?
That was one of the accounts, one of the investing accounts. But then on another where I had a little bit more conservative. So I do have a big bulk of the money in good companies that we look at, that we teach with the VCA.
So it's kind of safer.
Yeah, but then I'm specializing, we could say, in smaller companies as well now. Really kind of learned what to look for there. So the account where we're looking at 170% was definitely that. It was smaller companies and everything from gold miners to tech companies, even to cryptos as well. So that was a combination of those.
Okay. And so you obviously sound like you're very successful. What about losses? Do you have losses?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Some months I literally have no clue how I ended up that month in profit.
Oh, because there's so many losses.
So many losses, right? Yeah, I know my winning streak and everything.
But that's because of the risk-reward ratio, right?
Exactly. So last year I had 180 trades, and it's swing trading, so a bit more. So 180 trades on my breakouts, and I had a win rate of 55%, which means I lose 45%. And my
45% of the time.
No, this was last year actually.
No, 45% of the time you're losing.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. 45% exactly. So if I put it on a trade, there's a 45% chance I will lose it.
Yeah.
Or risk, I suppose. But I had 8 losses in a row. That was my biggest losing streak last year. At that point, I'm like, I don't know how to trade. Like 2 times a year, I literally forget how to trade in my mind, right? So, so I had 180 trades, and 55% of those were winners. I ended that year with 101% profit in trading.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
Even though you think you've forgotten how to trade.
Yeah, even though I had 45% losers.
That is awesome. Do you, and that is what people don't understand, I think, is that you can have a lot of losers, and it's part of the game, but it's the winners that make you all the profit.
Yeah, I had a few, like 11 to 1. So we always calculate portfolios here, right? So for every, which you taught me, of course. So if I lose 1%, it's on the entire portfolio. Yes. So on the biggest one, I made 11%.
So that's 11% on your entire portfolio.
Exactly, that will cover 11 losses.
Yeah,
so those 8 losses in a row kind of evens that out. I had several 5%, several 6%, and then a lot of 1 and 2 and 3%.
Yeah, and that all adds up. So how do you? So when you have losses and things like that, how do you? You just said I've forgotten how to trade, but you just keep going. What? I don't.
Both yes and no. I have found out that I need to have rules. I need to have an indicator for myself to protect myself from myself.
What's the indicator?
The indicator is knowing yourself, I suppose. So I'm a very emotional person in many ways. And not in trading that way, but I'm very close to my emotions, if that makes sense.
You're in touch with your emotions.
I'm very in touch with my emotions. So I do feel I'm very big in, I need to win, right, when I do something. I'm very competitive. Yeah. So, but when I lose, I need to kind of gauge myself. Okay, so am I in a position to continue to trade? And I can easily handle 1-2 losses a day, right? That's not a problem. But more than that, I usually put a limit on myself. If I feel that emotions are starting to come, I actually practice meditation in this as well. Because I think when you're trading, you need to kind of be in flow. You need to be able to objectively observe what's happening. So I will see my thoughts coming, like, I want a revenge trade, right? That thought is definitely coming to me.
Oh, so you're consciously aware of your emotions.
Exactly. So I'm not gonna. Now I know it's time to stop. So I don't want a revenge trade. So I will then go away from my computer.
How do you get to that stage, do you think, of being so aware? Because normally we say, trading, no emotions. You follow the rules. You get in, you get out, just follow it. It will all take care of itself. But you're saying you are emotional, but you're aware of these emotions. How do you get to that stage, do you think?
Yeah, so I know, I tried to figure that one out that you said, there's no emotions. And I found out that there's no way. I mean, I am emotional, so I cannot remove them, but I can manage them.
Okay.
So what I've done is that there is, meditation is what I've actually tried to do. But the only reason I've tried to do it is to kind of be good at focusing my thoughts and practice to manage my thoughts. So literally you're sitting down, I think it's called Vipassana, but sitting down and just observing yourself. You don't focus on your breath, nothing like that, which usually you do in meditation. You just observe what is going on. What thought comes up, decide which ones to follow and not to follow. And then when you have done that for a little bit, it doesn't take long, it's like 10 minutes a day. And then you apply that in trading, which means that you have, of course, set of rules, but then you apply the same tactic that you just observe what's going on in your head when you have a loser. So I did a long time. I wrote down my emotion before I put a trade on, during the trade, and after the trade.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So you actually studied your emotions.
Exactly. And I think that's the key. It doesn't take long, because when I'm sitting there, instead of just looking at the chart, I just say, okay, so what am I feeling? What am I thinking? It doesn't take more time. No? It's just you use the time differently.
So, that's really interesting. So, okay, you're looking at it, what you're doing anyway, and then you just say, okay, what am I feeling now before the trade? What am I doing as I'm placing the trade? And what am I doing during the actual trade itself?
Yeah. And when I have a
goes
loss,
up and down.
What happened now? What am I feeling now?
Okay.
If I want a revenge trade, not a good time. Let's close the company.
Is it like an inner dialogue you're having with yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes like, what am I doing? And I want to say this, I am not perfect. There are occasions, I would say 1 to 2 trades, 20% of the time, I will fall victim to my emotions as well still.
Oh.
And then that's getting less and less. So I do revenge trade still.
Okay.
But then I have another loss, like really that was necessary? And then I move on.
But what if you have a win? What if you do a revenge trade and you have a win? What then?
Yeah, I mean, that might happen as well. That very rarely happen. Majority of the times I lose again. But no, I am aware of it because I break my rules if I do it, usually. But it is different.
And by the way, is this something that you think other people can do?
Yeah, for sure. I think what I read this, right? It was a really good book. And I'm not going to mention any because I don't want anyone to read books because I don't think that's what we need really all the time. We just need to focus on doing the right things. Now, if we know the stats that most people don't make it as traders and investors because they do what 90% do. So what we need, which is, for example, they always look for a new strategy, and I call it strategy hopping, right? So like island hopping, but they do strategy hopping. So, I had 8 losses in a row. This doesn't work. Let's move on to the next. And YouTube is such a great place for it because all of the strategies there, of course, the best things is sliced bread. So strategy hopping is definitely one thing. So as soon as someone, this is it, right? The 90% they look for getting rich quick. They look for, so I look at it this way. Imagine there's a queue to a store. Yeah. And in this store, you can buy getting rich quick. You can buy, for example, a new strategy, of course. You can buy the newest indicator, all of those things. That's what they do. If you have another store where it's about writing your trading plan, working in your emotions, the risk management, no one would be there. Because that's not fun to do. So I'm just thinking, I just need to avoid doing what the majority is doing. Yeah. And then that should sort itself out. But I think it's important to make the distinction that I still revenge trade. I still do these things. Mm-hmm. I just minimize it.
And you're aware that you're doing it?
Yes, okay. Most of the time.
Most of the time. Yeah. I am now revenge trading, but it's okay, because I feel like it.
Yeah, and it really helps me to think as well, what would Marcus do in this situation? Because you've taught me so much. You basically taught me my entire mindset around this. So what would Marcus do? And that usually stops me as well.
I would normally follow the rules.
Yeah.
Normally,
yeah.
Okay, so that was really, really interesting. Okay, fascinating actually, and really useful, I would say. So which strategy do you like the most out of all the strategies that you use? First of all, trading or investing?
Both, I would say.
Very good.
Both, yeah, I would say both. Yeah. And I think you need to get to a stage where you really understand it, and that takes time. But for me, it's VCA. I love VCA. I have made variations to it, which is not really. I haven't changed the fundamental recipe. I'm just looking at where is the price turning, and that's where I enter the first time.
It makes sense.
That's it, right?
You can't teach that to total beginners.
No, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it, and then I do a combination of breakout and buffalo. Essentially, that's it. So I look what the price is doing. I look at just get a gauge of, and I love this, right? One of the world champions of trade 2 times. It's not me, unfortunately, but maybe eventually. But he said, if you want to be successful at trading, stop looking at the news. And I think people always say, and to me as well, and this was me in the beginning as well, when I had a losing trade, it was like, okay, I missed something, right? So what are the fundamental reasons I missed this? And I just realized, you don't really need that.
And you don't really know. And you'll never find out. You think it's this, but it's not. You have no idea. Yeah. Right now, Bitcoin is falling. I have no idea why, and I don't care. If it goes up, I make money. If it goes down, I buy some more. Just follow the rules. So you would say investing or trading?
I would say both. Yeah, I think the combination is really good, and I think that comes down to knowing myself. I had moments where I only have traded and also only have invested. When I only invest, I get bored, which is a good point, I suppose. But then I'm quite impulsive, so I do want to do things as well. So in that way, if I'm trading and investing, I get the best from both worlds. So that's the best way for me to manage my emotions actually, to actually do both. Because then I get a little bit of excitement, and then the boring thing.
You get that out of your system.
Yeah. Exactly.
You say boring, so you think investing should be boring, or?
I think it should be boring for sure. And
boring.
You should find excitement somewhere else.
I don't think it should. I don't know. Okay. So I don't think it should be boring. It should just be nothing. You should be getting on with your life, like doing stuff, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be watching the damn thing for 10 hours a day. That would be boring.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. I think the act of like putting the trades on, that I think that could be fun, but you shouldn't have too much emotions when you're in it. I think that's it. That's when you have to leave it.
I honestly don't feel anything. It's not exciting. It's not boring. It's just something I do for 20 minutes. And
I agree. That's where I'm at the moment as well. And I think it's exciting to see your money grow, though, right? That's exciting. But no, the thing of doing it is not. It's just every day now. It's no emotions around it.
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of, you've obviously been very successful. You've got the right mindset around it. Do you think anybody can do it?
Yes, I do think everyone can do it. I actually firmly believe that. Absolutely. I think it's because, for me, as you probably heard, my mom didn't have any financial education. I didn't have either. And at the time, as many probably know, I was a tour guide. I was traveling. So I think if I can do it, everyone can do it. I absolutely believe that.
Everyone or anyone?
I think anyone.
Okay. So not everyone.
I think anyone that is open to it, and I mean really open to it, because I think it's a mindset game. And I think it is a little bit like you say, that how you do anything is how you do everything, because I think it's more of an attitude to be successful in trading than an actual skill. Because you have to treat it in the right way. And like I said, the 2 Qs, right, to this store, that's what most people do. If they do that, no, they can't learn how to do this properly, because it's not about that. So I think even in the trading and investing industry, when you look at YouTube and what most people do and sell, etc., they say, oh yeah, learn this strategy and you will make money. No, right? It's not about that. You need to look, if you want to trade, you need to back test, you need to do these boring things that no one want to do. So the same in that store with the trading plan, back test 100 trades. No one does that. They go live and they're, no, this is not working. Let's try a new strategy. Because this person on YouTube said it will work. So you just need to do the right things. The same in business, the same with working out. Like go to the gym and work out and have a healthy diet and you will get a good body. Do these things in trading and you will get good results. Anyone can go to the gym, but everyone is not doing it and they can't do it because they have the wrong attitude and habits. That's right.
But then that sounds like it's quite difficult, because I think most people do go to the gym to start with, but then they give up.
Yeah. Well, it's like we always say, it's very simple but not easy, because it's in here, right? It's the mindset around it. And I think you just need to make it as easy. I think I'm quite good at, not always, but quite good at finding good solutions. Like, what is the easiest way I can make this happen? For example, okay, let's move to UK. Let me just be there. That must do something.
I mean, but you did move to the UK, right?
Yeah.
You left Sweden, you moved over here for a year and a half. Most people wouldn't do that.
No, of course. And I wouldn't have needed to either. But what I would have done, I did this when I did the course as well. I actually set up a group with the Swedish group that you taught, right? And we had a webinar each week, right? And then I spent an entire summer doing it as well. And as you said, most people don't have the time to do that. But what they can do is to make it really simple for themselves. For example, who do they need to surround themselves with to make this happen? I don't think it takes a lot of time. Like, if people look at how much time they spend on their phones and other things, I think they have time for it. It just has to be a priority. And I think just finding the right people that can support them with it, I think is important.
Why are you so motivated?
It is a great question, actually. I think a couple of reasons. One reason is I've been traveling a lot in my life, and when I lived abroad, and there was everything from Asia to the US even, and in Austria, funnily enough, but I just realized how blessed I am to have been born in Sweden. It's not, I could literally have been born anywhere, But I remember I was meeting this person in the Gili Islands outside Indonesia, and he said, if I could just one day, he slept on the floor in a hotel, that's where he worked, and he was my age, and he said, if I can just one day go over and meet my family again, right? Take the boat over to me, if I can make the money to do that. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And that's been with me all this time. I get a little bit emotional just thinking about it because I'm just so blessed being born in Sweden. And I think it's I have to do it. And I'd love to do it as well. But in all my works, I've always been service. I always either worked with kids or adults, just helping service.
Why do you have to do it?
I feel an obligation to do it, to do it because I was born in Sweden, to leave the world a better place than when I got here. Just do what I can.
Hold on. How does your trading and building up your money?
Oh, well, that comes into the teaching as well. But I'm a firm believer as well in the more money I have, the more good I can do.
Okay.
Because what good can I do if I have $2,000 and I can't help that many?
So this story of the person who was the same age as you, but his dream was just to see his family again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so that stayed with you, and that motivates you to what? To make the most of what you have?
Yeah, most of my time.
The fact that you were blessed and have the choice?
Exactly. That's one of the parts. And then as well, I think as well that, I've always had this drive in me to do things and to be the best at what I do, try to be at least. And
why? Where? So you're competitive, right?
Yeah.
You want to be the best. You spend time doing this. But why? So is it a family thing?
Yeah, it's a combination. So that was what triggered it a little bit. I also worked in the Alps, and I was running a resort there, basically, for a Swedish travel agency. And every week I got 30 new guests that I hiked with for a week. I talked to all of them, as you can imagine. And all of them said, I asked, what do you want to do with your life? Or what are you excited about?
They asked you that?
I asked them that.
Oh, you asked them
right?
that?
I wanted to find out.
Oh, wow.
Because everyone was between 40 and 60 and above even. And they said, most of them said, I don't know. They worked in their job 30, 40 years. Like, it's okay. I don't know. I'm like, I don't want to be in that situation. Like, never be in that situation. And I knew that money is a great driver in this. I'm very driven by money and those things as well. I know that trading and investing can allow me those choices.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is you've had a couple of quite emotional events, significant emotional events, where you go, I do not want to end up like these people. Whether it's the person sleeping on the floor or those people who are middle-aged and just don't know what the hell they're doing and why they're doing it. And so that kind of internally has motivated you just to make the most of things. And
absolutely would say so. And then meeting you was definitely a big turning point in my life as well. And just being surrounded with other people that I have the go and the passion to make a difference, I think that really helps. I think it's true that you become a little bit more like the people you surround yourself with. And then I've always said as well to my family, to my mom, one day I'm going to, hand over a key to you.
Just a key? Here's a key.
Here's a key, exactly. But just, with a house by the ocean where they can retire. And I know I don't need to, but I kind of want to do that. And then I think one thing that you said once resonated with me as well. If I wake up on my deathbed and I said I didn't give it all I could and I effed it up in a way. So that's what's driving me as well.
But other people, they read books about this, but they don't. They just, for a little bit, and then they go back. So why are you not going back? Why are you not your move? If anything, I see you developing more and more and more. What's the key? All the things you said, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose so. And also, love what you do is one thing, and I think most get that a little bit backwards as well. And I certainly did not enjoy trading and investing when I lost 70%. There was a lot of pain. But when you get really good at something and you have the right environment, which I was been really blessed and lucky to be in, then I think that's one point as well that kind of helps you because it's a lot of fun, right? But it's always been like that for me. When I played football, I played, in 5 teams, and I always tried to become the best at it and really try to drive me towards it. But it is a good question. Why? But I think, the environment is the easiest way. I definitely think so. If you have
environment, so for example, your mother, right? But you have brothers.
Yeah.
Are they like you?
One of them. We are 8 siblings. I think one is
8.
8. Well, I have one biological, then a married.
Okay. Are you like you're the biological one?
No, not at all. We're complete opposites.
Okay, but were you in the same environment?
Yes and no. Yeah.
Why is it never simple?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah. Yes, when I was very young, yes.
Okay.
But we had different friends, of course, and we had a little bit.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course,
but
of course.
yes, we had the same upbringing.
Is he
everything,
like you?
No, we're very different. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's tough to explain. I don't know. For me, it's always been I wanted more. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always been this.
Why?
Well, partly because of the reasons. I want to wake up one day and just feel, look, I have not tried everything. I haven't given it everything that I could. Combination of travel, see things, get perspective, and also that I've written goals. I've written a list of things I really want to.
Yeah, so you had
give.
all the pain stuff, all the emotional events, but you also have the aspirations. You have that. But I think it's something else. There's something about you, and that's energy, right? The energy that you have, and you're always looking to increase that energy as well, right?
Yeah.
Because I think, and I don't know, some people have it naturally. You know, men have a lot of testosterone, so they go, and you got to. If you channel that well, oh my goodness, right? If you don't, oh my goodness, right? But you seem to be channeling it. Tell me about energy. Is that a thing for you?
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. I think I get so much energy from what I do in my work, as an example, and then of course from working out and these things as well. But I do get so much energy from being in a workshop, teaching others, helping others, which always throughout my entire life been a thing. Everything from teaching kids how to ski to being a tour guide, guiding people, talking. I've been very kind of natural at that. It's been a natural thing that gives me energy. Some people are introverts, like my brother, and in a way,
how does he get energy?
He gets energy from being in himself, like meditating, spending a weekend by himself. For me, not really, right? That's not how I really.
So you're more about service to other people and helping other people.
He's
more about internal.
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
That's good to know that, right?
Yeah, right. Just know yourself is really good. So that's how I really get a lot.
Seems to be the key.
Oh, I would say so. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, energy is a big thing, and I try to do these things. We laugh about it in the office, but I try to drink certain things, eat certain things, and
red light therapy,
ice
hydrogenate
baths.
your water. There's all these bubbles going on.
You would laugh. Like at home, I have a sauna mattress that you kind of crawl into it and it becomes 70, 80 degrees to get the sauna effect. I have so many of these things.
Oh, you don't need a big sauna room.
No.
You just go into this mattress, turn on the thing, and it.
And do I know if everything is good? But no, I don't. But I try myself. I try it around a little bit, and I mean I work very long days. As
don't you also do ice baths as well?
Ice baths, yep. Done it. During the. Yeah, I don't even know if it works. Right, I don't really feel any different.
I like the way you say, well, I don't know whether this works, but you give it a go anyway.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You've been doing it for a while, though. So you plunge into ice water, and your fiancée has to go as well.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the key, right? A lot of the days I don't feel like it, but she goes, Dennis, you've said you would do it. And
but I thought she doesn't enjoy it.
No, she doesn't enjoy it. No.
So she gets you to do it, or?
Well, I've told her to keep me accountable, and she does.
Because you have a partner and you tell them to keep you accountable. And then does she do it as well?
Yeah, most of the times. We had a period when we both did it for 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, so absolutely. But yeah, I think, the reason I say I don't know if it works is because I'm trying a lot of different things. The same with the strategy. If you try too many things with trading, you don't know if it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, to summarize it in a way, I think, try to get, I believe in like an 80-20 thing, right? I eat chocolate, I do things, I like, why did I do that in the evening? If I start a series, as I mentioned, I will stay up until 2 a.m. I should have slept at 10. And, right, so all these things I do as well. I'm human. And I think that, because usually when you get out of a habit, then well, for me at least, when I get out of a habit, it's easy to not get back into the habit. Like if you go to the gym every day, you're sick for a week, then there's no gym anymore. But for me, I snap back really quick. So after I've been sick, I literally force myself to go to the gym and get the habit back. And sometimes, if I go to bed late for a week, I'm like, okay, that's it. What is the cause of this? Why am I doing this? And then I snap myself back and I get into my good habits again.
Right, okay.
So I'm really good at snapping myself back. But
why are you good at that? How are you good at that? How do you snap yourself back?
I think I get to a point where this is not who I want to be. I've made it quite clear who I want to be. and what I wanna, what kind of role model I wanna be for others, and who I wanna be to my fiance, to my family, and then it really helps that I'm teaching others. Because if I'm going to teach others to, use this technique or do that, it's really important that you plan your days on Sundays. I'm doing that as well. So I'm putting me in my position where
you have to do it.
I have to do it.
Because you're teaching others and you have to be a role model for them.
And believe me, I don't want to plan every Sunday, and I don't plan every Sunday. I just want to make that clear as well.
Shocking.
I know, right? And the same, I should look, and do my watch list on Sundays as well. I don't do it every Sunday, but I do it most Sundays. And if I don't do it on Sunday, I make sure I do it on Monday. So, I'm quite good at.
So you're at, the 1.5 million at the moment. What is it that you are looking to achieve? Like, do you want to be a billionaire?
No, not necessarily. And I don't. I know my brother wants to be a billionaire, right? But I don't have that same aspiration. I mean, I don't even know how much a billion is. But I know there's zeros. But, I'm a bit like you. I'm a saver, so I don't really spend that much on myself. I really help my family in any way.
It's funny because he's the opposite. He's a total spender, isn't he?
Yeah, right? Yeah, and there's not right or wrong. And I do agree with his point of view to a big extent. What point is there to just grow your money if you don't spend it on really great things?
Well, I tell you what it is. Grow it, and then you have so much that by making an income just from that, you can then go and spend as much as you want.
Absolutely. And the question is when that number is, you don't get attached to that, just keep growing it, I think. But he's taught me a lot of things about it, which I think is important. I think you have to enjoy life, but it's a balance with everything. And I think the jar system, as you told me, is good as well. It's a system.
Oh, that's awesome.
But no, I think for me, I don't have aspirations to become a billionaire. I think, that I'm put a target at 100 million as an example. And
why did you come up with that number?
It's very round. And
very nice and round.
But I think it's, for me, I know that I'm not going to need that much. Since I can make 30% a year, I need roughly $1 million or so. If I can have that.
SEK or pounds?
No, pounds.
Okay.
If I have $1 million in investment.
So you don't really need that much then?
Not really to live, but then again, if I want to, which I want, when I buy a nice house for me and my family, and then for my parents, etc., then it's going to be a little bit more. And so
why do you need 100 million then?
I put it as a target. I want to see how much I can grow, because then, of course, I will think bigger. I think that I will go, okay, so who can I help now? What can I do now? And it can be anything, but I do, I give to charity, and I try to give people money that I think needs help, like the person that I met that couldn't go to his family.
Oh, did you pay for him to go to see his family?
Yeah, exactly. I paid for the boat trip over.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Because it doesn't matter, but it was not a lot of money. But
no, not for you.
Right? Yeah, not for us even, right? That lives here in the Western world. So, it's just... but I do think environment is really important, because when I don't feel like it, I speak to you, and then okay, now let's go, right? Because you're always so happy and like, da-da-da-da, let's do this. And if I would have people around me that go, look, I don't want to do anything today. Really? Then, that would be it. But you pull me up when I need it. And hopefully it's vice versa, but I think, have those people.
Not really. No, yes, absolutely.
Exactly.
Of course. Well, we have our talks every Friday, and that's absolutely fantastic as well. That specific one, that's the crypto one, right? Yeah. We talk more than that. But tell me, do you think you are our most successful client?
If I'm your most?
Yeah. Think about Rob Alders, right?
Yeah.
So he made over 1.1 million profit.
Yeah.
Yeah? You're really getting there. And Marcel Spies, for example, right? So all of these, he's compounding it up.
I don't think I am yet, and I don't have any aspirations to be in that way. I just want to, see how much I can make, how far I can come.
I think you will be.
Yeah, but hopefully I do love teaching others, because because like you helped me. I come from a space where I know how much pain it is to not have enough and not to make enough, and to lose everything as well, right? And I guess if I can change, like you changed my life, I can help to change others. So in that respect, yes, I would like to be, so I can help more people.
I was going to say, I think you will be, because, they say, I got this from Blair Singer, right? One of the rich dads, but also, one of the trainers with myself and T. Harveka. Amazing. And he always said that, leaders create other leaders, right? And so I think you will be, if you're not already, because you are actually not just doing it for yourself and your family, but you're also teaching others to do it as well. So you're a leader. And hopefully you will go on to create leaders, and I'm sure you're in the process of doing that, you know. So actually I think you will be the most successful from that point of view. But I think that is the only point of view. So
yeah, I agree.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it's about also finding a purpose. And I guess Tony's his kind of the steps to with
Tony Robbins?
Yeah, with his I don't know, I don't find the word for it, but you know, with the significance that you have the needs,
6 human needs.
Human needs, right? And I think what I'm doing is
do you remember them, the 6 human needs?
Yeah, if I think a little bit closer to it, I think. But one of them is definitely to have certainty, uncertainty.
Exactly.
And then you want to have significance, fulfillment, or 2 of those.
Well, no, then there's significance, and there's love and connection.
Love and connection as well.
But if you really want to have a fulfilled life, so you'll be happy if you have 3 of those, 2 or 3 of those, right? But the last 2 are the fulfillment. I mean, fulfillment sounds so good. Fulfill. Yeah. So there's contentment, happy, but for real fulfillment comes from the last 2. Do you remember what they were?
Isn't one of them fulfillment? Is it growth? Is one of them as well?
Growth,
and giving back.
Contribution. Yeah, which is what you do.
Well, I mean, what I do is literally ticking all of those boxes. And I have gotten to a point a few times, right, where I like, okay, now it might be too much certainty. So then we do other things, right? We are going to create a fund.
Yeah, then you have variety. Yeah,
variety.
It's so important, right?
Yeah, exactly. So no, I think that's a part of it. So since these are all ticked, it's easy to keep growing and keep doing it, because I look forward to Mondays. And forget Mondays, I work on the weekends, because for me it's not really work.
So for you, it's not thank God it's Friday, it's thank God it's Monday.
Yeah, exactly. And I think at some point with trading and investing, to circle back to that as well, I think you just need to create that a habit, like everything else you do. You go up and brush your teeth, great. Let's go up and play some trades and investments, because I literally spend 20 minutes a week on my investments.
Do you? No, because you have your account, you have several other accounts, you've got cryptos, you've got stocks, and then you've got the trading and the investing, and then you've got all the other strategies you're probably trying out. You've got the small caps and everything. How long do you actually spend?
Yes, I would say 2 hours a day is what I spend.
Right.
But that is, I think we need to put it in brackets. For investing with, for example, my family's account, etc., I might put like 20 minutes a month in, right? Because there's not much to do. You wait for either it goes up or it goes down. So it's not much to do most of the time, unfortunately. So I would say investing is a very little time. Then, of course, research is a bit more. But if you just focus on the companies like the Apples and those companies, it's not any time really. There's not much research to do. Even Bitcoin and Ethereum is a no-brainer when you get to that stage. So now, after I learned how to do it properly, I would say the investing is 30 minutes a week on average, then I would say.
So where does the 2 hours a day come from?
Right, so 2 hours a day is more trading. It's looking for opportunities, filling out the trading diary, analyzing the trades, and then of course also part of analyzing the VCAs. I do back testing on a regular basis to always improve. And then, of course, I do research as well. So that's the 2 hours.
But you can live from this, right?
Yeah, I can live from my trading.
Okay, so if that's the case, and you were to spend 2 hours a day, et voila.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not bad, huh?
Yeah, I could.
But then you'd stop compounding because you'd be taking money out.
Yeah, exactly.
Or taking some out and letting the rest compound. Yeah. So basically, you're done.
Yeah, well, depends on what you define as done, right? I loved what Michael McConaughey, the actor, is it Michael? I think so. Matthew McConaughey, yeah. Almost. I love what he said, right? That he was asked what his hero, who is his hero, right? His role model. And he said himself in 10 years. I love that. And I do believe that's so true. Because I think, you told me this as well. People ask us, why do we do this if we can live from it? It's like, well, what do you want me to do? You want me to play golf all day? Or what do you, right? I've probably heard I have a clear mission with everything that I've done. And I've said this to you as well multiple times. I will be here for the rest of my life in trading and investing, and hopefully teaching and helping others as well, as long as I can. Because, it fulfills all of my needs.
It does.
Yeah, so that makes me fulfilled. Playing golf does not. It fulfills 0 of my needs. But then,
Well, maybe variety.
A variety.
Well, not if you go every day or every week. That's not, but maybe now and again.
Yeah, for me it's not golf. For me it's kite surfing, other things, traveling, and those things, and trying new things like new water styles and hydrogen water. But yeah, for sure.
Blue light therapy, red light therapy.
But then I want to say, because it's easy to think, okay, but you are, for you, how is it so easy? But I blow up once every 3 months, essentially.
What? Do you blow up your account?
No, not the account. Myself. Like I go, why am I doing this?
Oh, really? Tell me about that.
Yeah. So once every 3 months. I didn't know that. No, once every 3 months, it usually boils over a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, and I know that by myself that it will happen, and Therese knows this as well.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
So it's like the wall when you're doing the marathon.
Exactly.
You know it's going to happen.
Yeah. So I think exactly. So we all get things kind of cooking up. It can be anything that happens.
Absolutely.
Everything from family. So for me, I'm really good at like, okay, we're gonna find a solution and be positive. But once every 3 months, I'm going, why am I doing this?
Okay, so what do you do? Do you shout? Do you cry? What do you do?
I do. Yeah.
Throw plates?
No plates throwing. No, I'm not very kind of physical in that way. I do definitely cry.
Oh yeah.
I do cry occasionally.
Okay.
And I just feel kind of a bit of, I feel a bit anxious, right? Why am I doing this? Should I do other things with my life? Like these, a lot of thoughts. I speak a lot. Talk is important for me there. I speak to Therese and my mom from time to time as well. So, but then 1-2 days later, it's gone.
So this is just a release. Yeah, so you get it out. So that's the body basically. I mean, crying. That's what it is, right? Yeah. It's a release mechanism, and to get stuff off your chest. Literally, you go, "What's on my chest? There's nothing on my chest." Yeah. But it's getting it out. And if you don't, apparently that could turn to cancer.
Yeah, I'm sure, right?
It festers in there and so you've got to get it out.
Yeah, exactly. So I have all those things. I have my moments where I don't follow my habits. I have all of this that everyone else has as well.
Yeah. So you are human.
Yeah.
Jeez, Dennis, you're human.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I am for sure. Yeah. Yeah, no, I am, right? So I think then I talk to you guys, I talk to other people, that brings me up again, and then I'm back. So
I'll put it in the diary. Yeah. I'll put it in the diary in 3 months from. Tell me when the last time was. 3 months. I'll make sure I'm there.
Very cool. Thank you.
So Dennis, if you could, talk to your younger self, right, knowing what you know now about trading and investing, and you had to start again right now, what would you say? Wow. Yeah, it's a great question. So there's a few things. Definitely, one of the biggest one is to be patient, and I can come back to that. But step number 1 would be, find a good education. Find someone that can teach you how to do this properly. Like we do with everything else, like driving a car, like going to school. Why would this be different? Even if you want to go to the gym, if you go and just lift weights, you're going to injure yourself eventually because you probably have the wrong technique. So you need to do that. Find a good mentor and coach that you trust in. Just Google, call them. I would do some due diligence there, like you do when you choose which university to go to. And secondly, I would actually do what they teach. Because what I've done so many times is you tell me things, I'm like, yes, I'm going to do that, and then I go and do my thing, and like, shit, that didn't work, and then I come back and okay, let's try what Marcus said, and that works, funnily enough. So really follow the recipes, what I'm trying to say here, and do the work. And, find time where you do it every week and every day, really, if you're really serious about it. So, and I did that part, but the first 2 I did not. But also have patience. And what I mean by patience is a couple of things. Patience, I mean, I really say this to myself every day. And now I am actually patient. I'm not in a rush. I'm very impatient, which I think is different. But I'm not in a rush to get results, neither from my career nor from my trading and investing, because I know it's coming. That's a good distinction, actually. Yeah. And I think the patience I'm talking about here is the patience to allow the results to come. That's one sort of patience because I tell myself that I underestimate what I do in the long term, and I'm talking about 2-3 years, and I overestimate what I can do in the first year or even 6 months. So that kind of patience, but also the patience when you're in trades, the patience to allow the VCA to play out, the patience to allow your trade to play out as well. Mm-hmm. So you're fine with PayPal at the moment, then? I'm fine with PayPal. I'm fine with because I'm also trading, I suppose. But yeah, that kind of patience, because I see when I've backtested all of my 180 trades from last year, I backtested. What I found was if I wouldn't
have gone in and everything from letting it reach my take profit, from managing too much, moving my stop loss up too much. If I just would have let them be, my results would have been 34% better, roughly.
And so is that what you're doing now?
Yeah, I'm doing that a lot more now. I'm much more conservative to raise my stop loss. It's gonna be certain reasons for it, and then I'm letting it run, really.
So what would you say to somebody who's just starting out? And they're looking at all kinds of ways of making money.
Yeah.
Then there's the 5 pillars, right?
Yeah, the 5 pillars. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing properties as well.
Yeah.
And if I would start this again, so I'm doing business, doing career, doing properties a little bit, right? And I'm doing trading and investing. So I've tried a lot of these pillars. And for me, trading and investors is by far the best way. And I wouldn't focus so much on how much money you have now, because that's irrelevant, I think. Partly because when you are trading, there's so many ways where you can, I mean, if you can learn a skill like to make 20% per year, apply for a job at a hedge fund, right? And be creative, that will come. But I would say, don't worry about the money, just start and just be good, really good at the skill, because when you learn the skill, it's gonna take you 0 time. And looking at properties, well, my money is stuck there. I cannot do anything. And then this breaks and that breaks. I need to fix that. With trading and investing, none of that exists. You can do it from anywhere, be super liquid whenever you need. And frankly speaking, it's not that hard to learn. So get a good mentor, a coach, do a course and really focus on it for a while. Exactly the same way as people focus on Netflix or other things. Just make this a priority for a while.
It's not quite the same, but yes.
Almost. No. And then you start small and let it grow and just try to put money aside each month. Maybe try to be creative in your work.
Ooh, that's the other thing. More. People don't add money to their account, which just absolutely turbo boosts it, right?
Yeah.
Why don't they teach this at school? So stupid.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think this is a typical thing as well. I have a very close friend and that I'm helping a bit. And he said, look, when I reach this, I will take all of it out and buy a new bathroom. I'm like, I think you missed a point here, friend. So, and that I got from Robert Kiyosaki, which I poured at. He said, I'm never buying anything unless my assets are paying for it.
Love it.
And that's the philosophy that I have now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like my Disney.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are the things, right? Get a good education and mentor. Really focus on it for a while. Don't worry about the money and think long term and have patience in that way. But you can also have impatience. Make sure you have urgency, that you keep doing it and try to get good results. See what you can improve in those things. And then focus on the right things. And the right things, that's the last point. Focus on the right things. What I did in the beginning was I went on YouTube, read books. One summer, I'm sure I told you this, I read 5 books. Yeah. And I even wrote out how many pages I should read each day to make sure all those 5 books were done. And I spent 8 hours a day. And the reason for this was my ex-girlfriend at the time, she wanted to go home. She lives in the north of Norway. There's literally nothing to do. So I went, all right, so what should I do this summer then? So I said, okay, trading and investing. I'm just doing this course now. That was just when I joined the summer after I joined. And I said, look, I'm just going to do trading then. Let's see if this works. And that was the same time I was waiting for this stock for something to happen. So I had my $8,000 in there. I had like $1,000 in my trading account. Mm-hmm. So I literally spent every day. I had a pen and paper, right? I went to the webinars, watched all the recordings. I made notes. I did back testing, read books. 8 hours a day. I did that for the entire summer. And that was really good, I think, because that really taught me a lot of things. But focus on the right things. But I also did during that time was I went to YouTube and I got confused out of my face because I saw all these strategies and I'm like, where should I go?
And they're all the best.
Yeah.
The best.
And then I back tested, obviously, and I saw, well, this is not working clearly, right? I had losers, I have winners, and there's no difference. So I realized that it's not about that. It's about focusing and become really good at one thing. Mm. And which really makes sense when you think about it. So that's where I kind of got you as well. So when you are starting, if someone's watching this, make sure you focus on the strategy they teach you. If it's us or anyone else, doesn't matter. What they teach you, just do that and keep improving it until it works. Because it will work.
Make it work, yeah. No, because a lot of people go in to see if it works, but you actually make it work. Wow, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you.
Well, there you have it. Dennis's incredible journey to becoming a highly successful trader and investor. So, what's the biggest takeaway from this interview? Share your thoughts below.